Anderson, you know, after that massacre, so many people across the country wanted to do good, especially here in Nashville, and a group got together and formed 26 for 26 Foundation. 26 miles for 26 victims. They were marathoners, and within a week of the tragedy, held an impromptu marathon that raised $30,000, and that money did do good. They took that check, $30,000, to Newtown. It helped pay for some of a youth center that was built there. The problem is 26 for 26 kept going, kept holding more events, kept raising more money for these Newtown families and victims, and raised $73,000 more money. Nobody knows where it is right now. The person who was in charge of the money, his name is Robbie Bruce, we're going to show you a picture of him, has virtually disappeared. This guy was a personal trainer. He wanted to raise money for the victims, but now nobody can find him. He's the only person who controlled the money. One of his co-founders, a woman named Ryan Graney, finally blew the whistle when she figured out that personal items were being bought with some of this money, including a $1,200 paddleboard. She approached this fella, Bruce. He cut her off completely. For Ryan, this is not only disgusting, she says, but personally embarrassing.
I would say personally, I'm sorry for what happened. If I could have stopped it sooner, I would have. And I'm just terribly sorry for what happened. I took down all the websites when I kind of had an inkling of what was going on. I removed all of our websites so that there was no way for anybody to collect any more money.
It's so infuriating, Drew. I want to put up some more pictures of this guy just in case anybody has seen him. His name is Robbie Bruce. We have some of these pictures. People should, if anybody has any information about him. So when you say he's just vanished, I mean, what exactly does that mean? He's left where he lived?
Well, we knocked on the door where he was last registered living, his apartment. We knocked on his girlfriend's apartment door today. We called all the phone numbers we could find, and there was no answer anywhere. Nobody's seen him for a while now. The Attorney General's office here in Nashville is also investigating and also confirming to us they can't find him. But that may be about to change. You know, the Connecticut office of the FBI has been very aggressive in these Newtown scams, and though the detectives there could not actually confirm an investigation is going on, this is the statement that was sent to us from the Connecticut FBI. They say the FBI investigates these types of frauds thoroughly and with a real sense of urgency because we recognize that legitimate charitable organizations are harmed by fraud, and in the case of Newtown victims, families are, in a sense, re-victimized, and that is certainly true.
Well, I mean, again, we should keep these pictures up because, I mean, if he's a trainer or he works out a lot, people maybe at gyms would recognize him. Was this foundation ever really a foundation at all, or was it just people asking for money and the public responded?
Yeah, no, it wasn't a charitable foundation in the true sense of the word. Never filed any paperwork with the state. We can't find any kind of IRS tax exempts, so it never was. But you know, when you mention Sandy Hook, people just want to do something, so they just sent this group money really without checking it out. I want to talk about what the FBI said about re-victimizing families. There's one family in particular, the family of Victoria Soto. She was a school teacher at Sandy Hook. They have had a devil of a time with people trying to scam in this woman's name, this teacher's name. And what is so troubling here in this case is Ryan Graney actually volunteered to help the Soto family scour the internet and tell them anytime anybody was using Victoria's name to raise money, to scam money. And then she had to make that phone call to say, guess what? My charity may have actually scam people too. This is what she told us about that.
The hardest phone call I had to make was to Donna Soto and tell her what was happening. It's one of the most special relationships I have in my life. And I had to call her and tell her that a foundation that I helped was using Vicky's name, and it's incredibly hard.
That's what's so troubling about this. It's really not the dollar amount, because in the scheme of things, we're not talking a lot of money.
No.
But we're talking about money being raised in the name of a bunch of children who were slaughtered in that school.
Yeah, that's kind of what it hurts the most for me, is that I am really close to these people, and they don't deserve this, and I wish I could have stopped it sooner.
They don't deserve it, Anderson. If Robbie Bruce is out there, give us a call. We'd love to hear what the explanation is. So would the Attorney General's office here in Tennessee, and perhaps so would the FBI.
Yeah, and again, we're putting his picture on the screen. Drew, where should people contact? I mean, obviously they can tweet us on, you know, at Anderson Cooper. We can even use the hashtag Robbie Bruce. Is there a number or anything authorities say?
You know, I haven't really gotten to that yet,
Okay.
Anderson, but if Robbie wants to call me, he can just go home and check the card that's stuck in his door. But I'm sure it's easy to find the Attorney General's office here in Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee.